Did you know that? Chocolate doesn't stick to hard-boiled eggs very well. Now you know. Bill Nye reference anybody? Anybody get that? Hopefully you do. That show's awesome. Anyways, that's actually a very true fact, and I learned that out the hard way this morning. Sucks. But oh well, if you need to know what that's for, it was for a prank on one of my friends. Yeah, I'll just leave it there. It was supposed to be pretty funny, but it didn't turn out because chocolate doesn't stick to eggs. So therefore, everything I did was null and void. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to talk about this commentary, but I thought I'd start out with a random fact. Anyways, this commentary is actually going to be about, why did I say about, that was a weird pronunciation. Anyways, it's going to be about the Stanley Cup playoffs and how, well, they're starting today. Today's Wednesday, as I'm recording this, you'll probably see it on Thursday, or later on after that, maybe. But starting out today, so I don't know what's going to happen. It's only 4:30 right now. The Canucks game hasn't started. It starts at 7. So I'm rooting for the Canucks, of course, because I live in Vancouver and I like the Canucks. And I'm hoping they'll win the Cup this year. But yeah, so I guess this commentary, I'll probably do one of these every next round of the playoffs, sort of give my predictions of what's going to happen in this round. And for this first one, I'm going to start off by saying my whole predictions for the whole Stanley Cup playoffs, what's going to happen, who I think is going to win the Cup, and everything like that. So, start off here by saying that Canucks versus LA. So, we got this matchup, it's going on, starting at 7 o'clock tonight. I'm thinking that the Canucks are probably going to win this, and I think either they'll win it in 4 games or in 5, I think. So one of the two, but the Canucks are definitely going to win this matchup, I believe. So we're on to the next game right now. It is St. Louis Blues versus the San Jose Sharks. And how I do like both these teams, but I'm going to have to give this one to the Blues because they seem to be doing pretty good this year, and they got some momentum for them, so I'm thinking the St. Louis Blues are going to win this one. Which brings us to the next matchup in the West, which would be the Coyotes versus the Blackhawks. And even though the Coyotes are a seed 3, I don't think that they can beat the Blackhawks. Blackhawks, they're not as good as their other years in the recent past, but I think that they can still take on the Coyotes. So my bet here is that the Blackhawks are going to win, not the Coyotes. Now the next one is the Predators versus the Red Wings, and I know the Red Wings, they haven't been doing too good recently, but I really think that they are going to win this matchup, actually. There's a lot of old guys, but I'm thinking that they'll win it. It may be a long shot, but that's my prediction for this. So that brings us to the semifinal for the Western League, and that... Or no, not the semifinal, quarterfinals, which would be, in my case, from what I chose, it would be Blues versus the Red Wings and Canucks versus the Blackhawks. So I do believe that the Canucks and Blackhawks game, Canucks will win, I think. Of course, I'm probably saying this completely biased because I live in Vancouver, and they're my favorite team. So, yeah, that's probably my reason for that. Anyways, the next one is Blues and Red Wings. I think that the Red Wings are probably going to win that. Although it'll be pretty close. I think the Blues games and the Red Wings games, those are tough to predict. So I'm going to say the Red Wings will win that. And that brings us to the semifinals, which would be the Canucks versus the Red Wings. And again, I'm going to say Canucks win. But again, I'm just very biased like that. So that would mean the Canucks would be in the Stanley Cup Finals for the 2nd year in a row. And now we go over to the Eastern side. So, here in the Eastern side, we have the New York Rangers versus the Ottawa Senators. Yeah, that's not really even... There's no choice here. It's pretty obvious that the Rangers are going to win. So, I'm saying Rangers will win that matchup. They've got a lot going for them, especially their goalie. So, yeah, Rangers, I'm definitely going to have to say, will win that. Next matchup is going to be Boston Bruins versus the Washington Capitals. And I know one of my friends thinks that Washington Capitals will win this, and somehow, like, Ovechkin will just light it up on Tim Thomas, but I kind of doubt that'll happen. So I'm just going to play it safe here and say that the Boston Bruins will win. They are a pretty solid team at the moment, so as long as there's no major breakdowns, I'm thinking that Boston will probably win this one. And next here we got the Florida Panthers versus the New Jersey Devils. And again, even though Florida is a 3rd seed, somehow, only because they won their division, just because of that, I'm going to say that the New Jersey Devils are going to win because, well, Florida sucks. How about that? Sorry if you live in Florida and you like the Florida Panthers, but they kind of suck. Anyways, the next matchup here is the Pittsburgh Penguins versus the Philadelphia Flyers. And I think this is probably the hardest matchup that I've had to choose between because Pittsburgh, it's very likely that they'll win it, but it's also likely that the Flyers will win it. And a lot of my friends have been saying that Pittsburgh is going to win it. And it's a bit of a toss-up, 4th seed versus 5th seed. And it is a toss-up. I'm not really too sure, but I'm going to play it risky here, and I'm going to say that the Flyers are going to win. I know that most people are saying that the Penguins are going to win, and they'll basically make it to maybe the Stanley Cup Finals even. But I'm going to say that they'll get eliminated very first round against the Flyers. So we'll see what happens with that. And that would mean the next matchup would be Rangers, Devils, and then Bruins, Flyers. So Rangers versus Devils, yeah, again, there's no really contest here. It would definitely be Rangers winning this one. Devils a 6th seed. They haven't really been playing too well ever since many years ago. But anyways, next matchup, Bruins and Flyers. I would love to see this series happen again this year. Bruins and Flyers, like a rematch series sort of thing. I'm going to say that the Flyers will win. So 2 rounds of the Flyers, which nobody else seems to think. Actually, I have one friend who agrees with me on this. So we'll see what happens there. I have a couple of side bets going with that as well. So that would mean in the semifinals for the Eastern Conference, it would be the Rangers versus the Flyers. And I'm going to say Flyers will get knocked off here and Rangers will win. So that would mean Stanley Cup Finals, very final matchup. It would be the Vancouver Canucks versus the New York Rangers. And although I'd like to say that the Canucks will win, I'm going to have to give this one to the New York Rangers. It really pains me to say that because I would love to see Vancouver win. It would be awesome, but I think if this were to happen, then the New York Rangers would probably win, but I definitely think it would go to Game 7. Nothing less than that. Definitely Game 7, as long as neither team has a giant breakdown for some strange reason. But that would be a pretty interesting matchup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll make an update video once the next playoff round starts. And this was just some Black Ops gameplay that I got yesterday when I was playing. It was like my first game on, and it could have gone a lot better if I got to use this next Chopper and the next Blackbird, but whatever, game ends, doesn't matter. 66-7, I think is the final score. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and sorry if you aren't a fan of hockey, but I like hockey, so I'm sorry. I'll do a regular video next time. So yeah, thanks for putting up with this anyways, so I'll see you guys later.